Next on Worcester News Tonight, a Dudley farmer is trying to address the stigma surrounding hemp and CBD products. Plus, shops across the state are suing to stop a 4-month ban on vaping. One Worcester shop says they're watching the suit closely. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Months after the state created new regulations on hemp products, a farmer in Dudley is trying to eliminate the stigma surrounding his products. The owners and operators at Dreamcatcher Farm say they want to show the Department of Public Health they are a safe retailer. Our Cam Jandro is in studio tonight and joins us now with more. Cam?
Anna, we first caught up with Dreamcatcher Farm when that ban was still being put in place. They say they opened a business in hopes of eliminating the stigma and educating the public about what hemp actually is.
I personally use it for anxiety and stress levels.
Local farmer Gian Ranucci lists a few of the reasons he uses hemp products. He says there's still a lot of confusion surrounding hemp and CBD.
A lot of people, they immediately see CBD and they think they're going to get high. But that's not at all the case. None of the products that we hold have any psychoactive effect to them.
The Massachusetts Department of Public Health banned businesses from selling forms of edible hemp. Dreamcatcher Farm in Dudley is one of those places dealing with the new regulations. While they're not selling unregulated products, Ranucci's offerings include oils and lip balms. He says their goal is still to become a reliable local source of hemp products.
It's probably not safe to buy CBD at gas stations, liquor stores, things like that, grocery stores. You want to, know where this product is coming from.
The couple is now selling their products in downtown Webster, just 8 minutes from their farm. Along with retail, Ranucci is hoping to educate people on the benefits of hemp, as well as the dangers which may come with it.
When you don't know if pesticides are used on those products or where the hemp was grown, if it was grown, in an industrial building with all sorts of chemicals and things like that. We're trying to focus on a quality product that comes from our soil to your oil.
Now, Dreamcatcher Farm is still selling legal products here in the state of Massachusetts. Ranucci says he continues to have conversations with officials in hopes of getting the ban on edible hemp lifted. In the studio, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
The state's ban on vaping sales is raising concerns about people buying products on a potential black market. Worcester County Sheriff Lou Evangelitis is supporting Governor Charlie Baker's ban on vaping products. Evangelitis says he's spoken to more than 400,000 students on the dangers of vaping. He says they're dangerous, and when bought illegally, it's unknown what's really inside the product.
I think the overall message has to be all of it's dangerous until we figure out exactly what the cause is. Then we can kind of get back into the maybe perhaps getting back into the idea of how and what we will allow to be vaped. But right now, I think we have to just shut it down and figure it out.
The sale of vaping products is banned in Massachusetts until January 25th, 2020. Several vape shops are planning a federal lawsuit against Governor Baker's ban. In Worcester, one business still open says it may be too late to join, but they're watching the lawsuit closely. Our Chandler Walsh has more.
The shelves are bare at Vaporize in Worcester. They say the state's 4-month ban on sales of vaping products is hurting them.
I think we'll be able to survive, but it's going to be very hard, especially during our busiest season, which would be the holidays.
Co-owner Adrian Pelka hopes the ban is cut short, and he's not the only one. A group of shops are suing the Baker administration, saying the ban is unconstitutional and their vape products were deemed safe by the FDA. Vaporize says they'd consider taking action as well, but worry it's too late.
We all know how the legal system works and how long it takes to get the ball rolling, and I think by that time it's going to be too late, for some of these other shops that aren't able to survive the 4 months.
Mike Sharp quit smoking cigarettes last September so his wife, who has terminal cancer, could breathe easier.
It was really, really hard. But that vape kept me through it. I finally got through it.
Vaping is what allowed the 25-year smoker to quit, and he says he's worried other people in his situation may go back.
They're hurting our economy, They're hurting people that used to be smokers that are quit. They're hurting a lot of people.
Worcester's Department of Public Health hopes the ban will allow state and federal leaders to determine what's causing the recent vaping-related illnesses and deaths.
If we are helping them save their health, it would be worth all of the anger and the outrage that we've been getting at the Department of Public Health.
Vaporize also sells CBD products, so it's still open. Pelka says he's concerned customers will turn to the black market.
As the supplies dwindle down, they're going to end up buying, homemade stuff that your neighbor made in an unsanitary area.
Vaporize says the culprit in this outbreak seems to be unregulated black market THC products. Now, the CDC's latest findings also suggest THC products play a role. They say 77% of people in the outbreak reported using them. In Worcester, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Music Worcester has plans to expand programming after receiving their largest ever donation. The Stoddard Charitable Fund and the Fletcher Foundation donated a combined $1.2 million. The money will start a fund at the Greater Worcester Community Foundation to support an annual concert. Executive Director Adrian Finley says they're being encouraged to think big and think about future audiences.
We've been part of the cultural landscape for this time, and we somewhat run under the radar, and this is just a real mark of support to allow us to think of our future, to perhaps be one of those marquee organizations here in Worcester.
The money will be given to Music Worcester over 4 years. They'll open for the season October 2nd. A big announcement for area veterans today. A new clinic is opening. It will help improve services for patients in need. The Veterans Administration says the partnership with UMass Medical School will provide more space and medical attention. Our Erin Keating was at the announcement and has more.
As a physician and surgeon, I can tell you firsthand what a privilege it was and is for me caring for sailors, Marines, and their families.
Dr. Ann Larkin served 2 years of active duty as a ship surgeon on an aircraft carrier. She says her time in the Navy allowed her to experience the unique medical needs of veterans, and a new VA outpatient clinic will allow UMass medical students to have a similar experience.
If all of them get a veteran's experience in some capacity, that's going to change, essentially, for all intents and purposes, how they practice medicine for the rest of their careers.
UMass Medical School announced Tuesday the newest partnership between the school and the Veterans Administration. A 53,000 square foot outpatient clinic will be located next to the school and includes state-of-the-art medical features, such as a clinical lab and a pharmacy. Chancellor Dr. Michael Collins says the project will put the school ahead in terms of healthcare and education.
The fact that it's on a medical school campus in and of itself represents that it's at the leading edge of both healthcare education, research, and clinical care.
Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito says the Worcester Clinic will allow veterans increased access to the medical care they deserve.
So when they return home and to their families, to make sure that they get the services they need to be well and healthy and live a supported life here in the Commonwealth is important.
The clinic will focus on the physical wellness and mental health of veterans. Larkin says it will revolutionize both care for veterans and education for the residents.
So as an educator, as a surgeon, and most of all as a veteran, I look forward to it with immense anticipation and excitement, both for our medical school and for our broader community.
Construction will begin later this year. The clinic is set to open in 2021. In Worcester, Erin Keating, Worcester News Tonight.
A Florida woman is charged with motor vehicle homicide in a July motorcycle accident. 67-year-old Glenda Barrows is facing multiple charges, including motor vehicle homicide by negligent driving and failure to yield at an intersection. Prosecutors say she hit and killed 63-year-old Thomas Malone on Southbridge Street in Auburn. The Worcester man was hit and thrown from his motorcycle on July 14th. He died 2 days later from his injuries. Barrows is due back in court next month. New numbers show higher cancellation rates at Worcester Regional Airport when compared to the national average. According to the Telegram, about 2% of all scheduled commercial flights in the U.S. were canceled in the first 7 months of 2019. But over a similar time frame, the Worcester Regional Airport reported cancellations at about 5%. The data only includes American Airlines and JetBlue service out of Worcester. American canceled significantly more flights than JetBlue. Data for both airlines show extreme weather was one of the main reasons for these cancellations. A Millbrae laundromat is offering more than just clean clothes. Sud City has opened a food pantry inside the business. Owner David Delaney says his goal is to make sure no one ever goes hungry. He relies on community donations, and the pantry is open to anyone.
We have an open shelf pantry, which means you just come in, take what you need, and leave the rest for the next family.
The pantry is open every day from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m.